Greetings everyone, and welcome to a little easy tutorial on how to set up bit donations, tips, subscriptions, and so forth as mail showing up on your Minecraft server, like they have it on the sleep-deprived survival multiplayer server by JSchlatt. In this case, you will need 2 mods. It does work with a significant higher amount of mods, but the main requirements are the contact mod and its dependencies, and the content creator integration mod. In this case for Forge, but should also work for Fabric. I recommend before you start watching the rest of the tutorial, you go through the content creator integrations little quick start thing, connecting either Stream Elements, Streamlabs, Twitch, and so forth to your project. Make sure you do this correctly the first time, because if you don't, you have to go into the config files and add all the codes manually. It's way easier to do through this client. So follow these very, very nice and easy steps. At the first time, make sure everything's ready. Make sure it says connected in your client. And then you can come back and continue the tutorial here. So once you've added both mods into your game, in this case, I'm using it on my subserver mod pack, you want to locate your configuration panel. You can either use it in your game while playing, or you can open it out here in your menu. I'm just going to go find my mod list. The mod list can look a little different. Mine is in the corner here. Sometimes it's in front of this like bisect hosting add thing for the mod pack creator. But we want to go in here. We want to go find our content creator integration button and click config. And now we're inside the main system. Up here you can see I've connected it to Stream Elements and to Twitch chat. Twitch chat doesn't have that much functionality. So if you want to do bits, subs, so forth, you should use either Stream Elements or Streamlabs or something along those lines. They do have a list on their website telling you which clients you can connect and which clients you can't. We're going to stick with Stream Elements. So what we want to do is we want to spawn an item. In this case, we want it to spawn a letter or send a letter to the player, in this case you, on whatever server or single player world you're playing on. So to do this, we want to go into Stream Elements. We want to click Configuration, Types, and Stream Elements calls bits cheers. So if you want to do bits, you open the cheers menu. The other ones are as follows: subscribes, follow, host, rate, and tips. Currently, they're all just standard messages giving you a little message saying in your Minecraft chat, something happened, here you go, blah, 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 blah. But for this, we're going to stick with the bits. I've set these ones up. I will show you how to set a full one up, but I'll just showcase the simple one here. So in this case, it's reading whether or not someone donates between 10 and 49 bits. It will use a condition to check this. And if that condition is met, again, checking between 10 and 49 bits, it will post this command. But let me just show you how to create this. So what we want to do is we want to go into the cheer menu. In here, you want to double click in an empty space. That creates a new event. This new event you can then go into by opening the menu and finding it on your list. Usually, you should rename these straight away. Otherwise, it can get a little confusing finding it around. So this one we'll call Tutorial 1. And that's the base thing. So this is just the container to tell you something has to happen. If you want to change the play order, because the program reads from top to bottom, if you want to change the play order, you go back into the upper menu, and then you can drag them around in here. So now that you've moved it all the way to this up, we can go back into our event. You see it updates the hierarchy over here too. I want to add 2 things, because right now this won't do anything. If we add an outcome without a condition, in this case we wanted to send a command, we wanted to spawn a letter. We open up a command. Now you see it lights up red because we haven't entered anything. We'll come to that. If we just finish this out as is right now, any bit message, any amount of bits would trigger this command first, because it doesn't have any conditions to stop it. So we also want to add a condition. Here we're going to want to add a amount. And the amount it listens for here is the bit, like the amount of bit you're receiving. You can either do a range or a specific. In this case, we're going to try to do a specific. So if then we fold out conditions and outcomes, you see both are red because still we need to change them. Let's go into the amount. All you need to set in here is the number. We will go with 100. So if someone donates 100 bits, something will happen. We wanted to post a letter to us. So I'll just grab the letter I have in here. So let's see if I fold out this one, because I already have the command written down. Usual commands you can do in Minecraft as a server operator should work for this. There's a little difference between servers and clients, but I'll come on to that in a little bit. But I'll just copy paste, so I'm marking it. Control C, it says copied up in the corner here. Now this command is ready for me. You want to change the username here to your username. It is case sensitive, so make sure you type in your correct in-game username, because this is what it targets in terms of finding the correct player and the correct mailbox to deliver the mail to. You can also make it send packages and stuff, but I'll show you that in a second. So let's go back to our test command, going into the command, going in here, and then I'll paste it here. The other way to do this would be to test the command in world while playing Minecraft, and then just copy pasting it from the text from the chat box into here. There are a few little extra steps in this command. The first step here is contact the mod itself. Then we tell the mod we want to send a postcard. You can also send parcels, but in this case it's going to be a postcard. We want to deliver it. The other command here is give, but if you want it to show up in your mailbox, you need to deliver. Then your in-game username, important, case sensitive. Then you choose a mail design. And these designs, the mod itself has a bunch of them you can choose from, but you can also make your own. Look into their documentation on that if you want to. There's some pretty decent documentation here, showcasing how to do your own textures and how to do your own postcards. But for now, we'll just stick with the base one. So back in here, we choose our card. Then we tell it true as delivered. And now we come to the variables, because the next point here is who it's from. And content creator integration allows you to do variables reading from your chat, reading from the events. So in this case, it's reading the user who sent the donation. Then it's saying the delay for receiving it from donation sent would be 1 tick, which means 1/20th of a second. And then we send a message. So after the tick number, anything you write there is going to be the message in this card. So we've told it to say the user's name again, and tell us they've sent us X amount of bits. The amount variable here is the amount donated in this specific donation. And then if the user adds any kind of message, it will then be added after that into the card. So that's how this line works. Once you're done with this, you can see everything is white. You go save and exit. So now this should be ready. What we'll do then is we'll go into a testing world and we'll check if it still works. Alright, now that we're in a little testing world here, first we need a mailbox. So we'll just grab a random mailbox. Let's go with a blue one or a cyan one. So this is the one your mail will be sent to. Claiming it, just shift right clicking on the side. So this mailbox is now ready. If I were to do this command in game, so I would do contact parcel or postcard, in this case postcard. I deliver it to me. I'll choose my player, choose a random, let's go with the sorcerer, make sure it marks as true, and then we want to give it a time, 1 tick. So you see here we need a sender. In this case the sender will be YouTube, because this is where the turtle is coming from, how long it takes to send, and a text. This is a command, enter. And that's how it should pop up with the integration command as well. So now we've gotten one mail. You can look in here, ta-da, this is a command, we've received a mail. If you look at the information down here, you can see the style and the sender. Right, now that we have our mailbox set up, we want to test it. So what I'll do here, I'll just look at the mailbox. I'll do that so you guys can see the mailbox on the side here. Then I'll jump over onto Streamlabs and I'll resend a 100-bit message. There we go. So now I've resent a 100-bit message that then shows up in your mailbox. In this case, it's a message from one of my viewers, Shake, who's written me, "It seems good because it works." And this was because I was testing the system yesterday, and it works. Perfect. So now we've got basic messages. You can add as many or as few messages as you want. What I've done is I've added 5 different styles, going from like an okay one to like a really cool style of postcard built in from the contact mod. And then as the styles get cooler, the players like the higher bit amount it costs. So if you want to go into your commands from here, right now we're in a world. We go into the mods menu in our escape menu, click the config on content creator integration, and now we're back in here and can then again configure our system as we see fit, pretty much. Now, a little extra thing I added to mine, which can be fun, depends on how you want to make it, is you can also spawn creatures. But creature commands are a little different than the base mail commands, in the sense that a mail command, in case this one, the program can just call. Doesn't matter, it just works. But spawn commands, or in this case, an execute command, only works if you mark execute as self, meaning it will try to write the command from your player's perspective, in a sense. And this is important if you're doing commands that require more operating privileges than the mod itself has. And then we come into servers. So if you want to run this on a server from CCI here, you need to do a little extra step. You need to whitelist the players who are allowed to use your mod. And it is a good safety in case someone joins your server who has the mod installed. They could theoretically use the mod to just spawn items for them, because the mod can do anything. It can spawn items, creatures, explosions, whatever you want it to do. So make sure you add this if you want a server. Add CCI on the server, enable the whitelist, and whitelist yourself or any other content creators you have on your server that you want to be able to use CCI. That's pretty much it. So now we can send letters. In this case, we can send all these different letters. The first one just types in chat, and we will receive them on the server. If you want to do a parcel instead, there's a little difference to the command. So whereas letters are just messages, the parcels require items. And you could theoretically give your players the ability to type in that item themselves, or what I've done in this case is I've added a channel point reward that does kind of the same thing. So if a player redeems a channel point reward, the channel point reward being in there, and this is one directly from Twitch, it will then send me a parcel with one stuffed hoglin from Nether Delight. So it will transmit food. So instead of adding the message at the end here, you add whatever it needs to be sending with and the amount it needs to send. Point rewards are a little different because point reward conditions are a little more tricky. So the way you set these up is you make a variable condition. So in your event here, instead of having condition just reads the amount of bits, now we read a variable. The variable needs to be named custom-reward-id, and then it needs this variable result. The way to get this is you go into your Twitch chat, you then redeem the channel point reward. It's important that the reward, you make a new reward that has requirement for text. The players need to write a message because the message is needed to get this code. So if I then, now I'm going to go over into my chat on my second monitor, I'm going to redeem this thing. I've now sent this reward to me. In here, you can read events from your Twitch chat. So if you go up here, you can see there's a lot of stuff happening in here. You can see I've just sent myself a message. The message you want here, you need to copy this from each reward, is this custom reward ID. This is a different one from the one that's on here because these are two different things. But in this case, I've said I wanted to reward a gemstone. You then want to copy this custom reward ID and put it in the variable result. Then you have channel point reward. You can add as many or as few of these as you want. And that's pretty much it. Now you would have functional systems running in your game, either in your single player world or in your multiplayer world. As you can see here, me clicking the reward and testing it actually spawned a parcel as well, because I had this set up for my testing streams. So this should contain a diamond. And would you look at that? 1 diamond has been achieved. I hope you enjoyed the video and the little quick tutorial. If you got any questions, post them in the comments and I'll answer them as quick as I can. Any links needed for any of the mods, for the configuration page, stuff like that, I'll put in the description, along with the base command for a parcel, but replacing my name, of course, with whatever your in-game username isn't dead. So yeah. Hope you all enjoyed. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, maybe even hit the subscribe button if you're really fancy. And I'll see you all at some point in the future. Bye!